moving through freeway traffic at this speeds as well. You know, this part of the freeway fairly open, but as you keep moving, you imagine this person is eventually going to run into some traffic. But look, now we see that's one of their vehicles, which is a little stronger, that SUV, which allows them to get in there. And you see they are getting more aggressive in terms of their approach to trying to stay with this guy.
10 on this Tuesday night. To your point, Alex, I would assume that there would be more cars on the road right now, especially as we've seen back to school. But maybe everyone's already headed back home after the second day of school for most everybody. You can see that this vehicle is in the carpool lane, carpool only there, the diamond lane. And whether that's LAPD, it looks like it's still LAPD as the lead agency there as we on this four-door dark-colored sedan. Could be a Mercedes. Tinted windows. Burglary suspect said to be behind the wheel. Eastbound 210 and passing Sierra Madre Boulevard, Altadena Drive. 90 miles per hour. When we picked it up, it was speeds about 100 miles an hour, and now we're moving over closer to traffic. This is always one of those situations where, you know, if you do find yourself in this situation, is just to get out of the way. Do not try to be a hero because you could end up on the wrong side. Relates to somebody who's dangerously and recklessly driving with speeds this high, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, the scary part of this is that somebody could easily be killed by this if there's a crash at that speed. Now we are moving potentially off the freeway here. And we want to bring in our colleague Kevin Takumi, who spent so many years in Skyfox, a bit of a pursuit expert here, to talk us through this. Kevin, your take on all this?
Yeah, you know what? This has been just all over the place with these high speeds here. Looks like I'm not sure exactly if they've gone to complete back into tracking mode. You can see speeds up to 70 miles an hour here. He's kind of riding that emergency lane there, and traffic very heavy as we continue eastbound. Oh, getting off here? Yeah, getting off at, nope, cutting back. So, you know, back and forth here, faking out like he's going to get off the freeway and then back on here. But traffic here eastbound on the 210 this evening time is going about 20 miles an hour. You can see how heavy the traffic is. And still, with those black and whites probably falling back about a half mile behind or more. This is, you can see how reckless this is here. Now back and forth trying to split cars here with the off-ramp. And then back again onto the main line. So he's out trying to go, getting around traffic using the off-ramps, but then cutting back in there. It looks like there's another, there is black and white. They're still staying with this here. So that's a Newton Division unit. So Newton Division still staying right on top of this vehicle here. Back over to the right side, there's an off-ramp coming up again, but they are staying right with it. You saw how close they got within a couple of car lengths there. As we continue here, we're up to 50 miles an hour, but traffic still eastbound here through the San Gabriel Valley, very heavy.
We're seeing this, getting a little bit more information, Kevin, that this includes multiple occupants suspected of a residential burglary. So we have a little bit more information, more people than just the driver, and a residential burglary may have preceded this pursuit. And now we're moving over to the shoulder. Looks like the shoulder, maybe the carpool lane.
It's in the carpool lane. There's a carpool lane there.
Okay.
But having now getting information that is a residential burglary kind of steps it up. We don't know if that was a burglary or if it was actually possibly a home invasion and weapons were used. So it looks like that's why they are really sticking to this here. Now using the emergency lane through the carpool lane, traffic over a little bit here, but a lot of traffic. Like I said, LAPD Newton Division is staying on these suspects in this vehicle.
You know, we've talked so much about burglaries and robberies here and the slate of that. You wonder also when you hear multiple people, is this one of those gangs that we've been seeing recently that have been hitting of the stores that we've seen as well? How many people? It's tough to tell. It looks like the windows are pretty tinted. You wonder about the potential, criminal past of the folks that are in this vehicle, involved in this sort of thing in the past. But they are driving very aggressively to try to get away. Law enforcement at this point, I mean, we've seen sort of Fast and the Furious style driving. As we lose our picture for a moment there, hoping to get that back from Skyfox as they drive at very fast speeds too, trying to keep up with this person. And the thing, Marla, when we hear that there are multiple people in there too, that can be concerning. We've seen in recent weeks on some of these pursuits when the driver gets out and some of the other people get out, they scatter in different areas, and some of them get away because it's hard to, it's pretty easy to track one person. It's harder to track, 4 or 5 people.
And we're losing our signal there, in and out. Kevin, when we first picked this up, we heard that this was in Sierra Madre. Any indication, do you know where the residential burglary took?
And I haven't heard yet exactly, but with the fact that Newton Division is in on this, would put it in kind of that area south of downtown LA, south of the 10 freeway, and east of the 110 freeway. That is the Newton Division area. So that is the markers that were on top of the vehicle, the 13 there. That would kind of point out to where LAPD started this pursuit. Their division in just south of downtown.
Okay, well, it looks like we did lose our Skyfox picture. So are we going to stay with this, or are we going to? We've got the pictures. Okay, we're going to leave it right there. If we can reestablish our